Hello, I'm Jan from Frez Productions. I'm back making new videos again. This time it's about some important two-stroke tech lessons. This is actually the first video on YouTube about this topic. And what I'm going to show you and try to learn you today is all you need to know about two-stroke piston lubrication holes. Now in the start of this video I'm going to give you some basic information about what lubrication holes are, what they do, why you need to drill holes in the piston. But in the end of this video I'm going to show you how to drill your own lubrication holes in the piston. Lubrication holes are a few holes in your piston. It's on the exhaust side of the piston, and these holes will let unburnt premix from the crankcase to be sprayed over a part in the cylinder that is called exhaust bridge. So every time the piston travels up and down, it will spray over this exhaust bridge and give a greater lubrication, but the main point is to actually cool the exhaust bridge. That's the main point why we need these holes. A exhaust bridge is a bridge that divides the exhaust port in your cylinder. The main reason why we need exhaust bridges is because it helps to stabilize the piston when it travels up and down because of the wide exhaust ports in the cylinder. So the main reason is to stabilize the piston when it travels up and down. As you can see here, this is the exhaust bridge in the cylinder. You might be wondering why the exhaust bridge needs to be cooled down, and the main reason for that is because the exhaust bridge is actually one of the warmest parts on your dirt bike. Every time the piston fires, hot exhaust gases gets on the bridge, and when aluminum gets real hot, it expands, and that's when the real problems start to happen. We do not want the exhaust bridge to expand, and that's also why we drill lubrication holes in the piston, to cool the exhaust bridge and to cool it down so it doesn't expand. Well, the exhaust bridge is going to get real hot, as I said earlier, and it's going to expand, and it will, if you're lucky, it will expand so much that you only get some wear on the exhaust side of the piston and ring. But if you're not lucky, it's going to expand so much that it's going to lock the piston, actually seize up, and yeah, that's bad. If you have a cracked exhaust bridge in your cylinder, do not run it at all. If the crack is big enough, your piston ring will get stuck in it, and yeah, you know what will happen. You will get a pretty big damage in your engine. Not all two-stroke engines have exhaust bridges. One fast way to check if your bike has one is to remove the exhaust chamber. Take a good look up into the exhaust side of your cylinder, and there you will see if you have one or not. One weird thing you need to remember is that if you're running cast pistons like the original piston and Pro X pistons and so on, you're not going to drill lubrication holes. And the reason for that is because the cast pistons are very brittle, and you're running the risk of exploding the piston if you start drilling in them, because it will only weaken the piston. So if you're running cast pistons, do not drill holes in them. The only piston you need to drill lubrication holes in are forged aluminum pistons like Viseco and Bosner, for example. These are the kind of pistons you have to drill lubrication holes in. So why do we have to drill holes in the forged piston and not in the cast pistons? The reason for that is because of the different expansion rates due to heat. The cast pistons do not expand as much as the forged aluminum pistons. The pistons like Viseco expands more, and that's why we need to drill. If you don't have an exhaust bridge in your cylinder, you do not have to drill lubrication holes in your piston. So yeah, just install your piston and you're good to go. So now we have come to the point in the video where I'm going to show you how to drill your own lubrication holes in your piston. So let's start. Install the piston on your rod. You do not need the piston rings or the circlips. Install your cylinder on top. Then turn your piston over with the kickstarter so your piston is behind the exhaust bridge like this. Then take your pencil and make 2 lines on the piston. Make 1 line on each side of the exhaust bridge. Now you can remove the cylinder and the piston. It's between these 2 lines you want to drill lubrication holes. Measure from the bottom piston ring groove and make a mark at 7.5 millimeters. As I said, this is the upper lubrication hole. Then measure from your mark you just made and measure down 9.5 millimeters. This is the lower lubrication hole. I use a drill machine to drill the holes in the piston. The drill machine will give you straight and precise holes. I start personally by drilling holes with 1.5 millimeter drill bits and then move up to 2 millimeters. Then you need to camfer the holes, or also known as countersinking the lubrication holes. Now you need to wash the piston and get rid of the aluminum grit. Take a good look on the piston afterwards. Also look inside to see if there's any grit from the drilling process. You don't want that stuff in your engine. You have now successfully drilled lubrication holes in your piston and you are ready to install it. So what we have here is a 2003 Honda CR250 cylinder. This is the exhaust side of the cylinder, and if you look inside here you can see the exhaust bridge. What we have here is a 1986 Honda TRX 250R cylinder, and as you can see here, it also has the exhaust bridge. So they did use the exhaust bridge design back in 86 too. What we have here is a 2003, I think, Honda CR125 cylinder, and it has the exhaust bridge as well. So as you can see, most of the Honda two-strokes have the exhaust bridge design. I do also know people who reduces the exhaust bridge. This is called exhaust bridge relief, and what it means is that you grind off some of the exhaust bridge, you make it a little bit smaller actually, so when it gets hot and it expands, it doesn't expand as much as a normal exhaust bridge would. Personally, I have never done this on my CR250s. I have only drilled lubrication holes in the piston, and that does seem to do the trick for me, I guess. I have never had any problems whatsoever, so yeah. I hope you liked my video, and I hope you learned something from it too, and that you may now know the importance of drilling lubrication holes in your piston. Check out my other videos and subscribe to my channel if you're interested in two-strokes and dirt bikes and everything. Also check out my Instagram page. I have some two-stroke projects going on there, so check it out if you want to, and I will see you next time.